Flannels and Tamagotchis, boy bands and beanie babies. You are now tuned in to the Disney Holic Show.
Hello and welcome to the Disney Holic Show. That's Mike TV.
And that's Jen Diz.
Today we're turning back the clock to Disneyland of the 1990s. Join us as we relive the sights, sounds, and experiences that made the era unforgettable. So lace up your LA gears and come to Disneyland with us. So, like I said in the intro, we are going to be journeying back to the 90s. But before we get there, we have to figure out how to get to a DeLorean, right?
Ooh.
So, with that said, I was going to cover a few upcoming events that I am attending over here just because it's really fun. Now, I just went last weekend to the Indiana Jones Adventure Spotlight Series, which is a brand new series put on by D23. It's at the Walt Disney Studios. Super cool. I can't wait to cover it soon, but I'm going to save that one for later because we already have
excited for that
stuff.
One.
Yeah, I'm going to hold you hostage for that one. But I did want to talk about a couple other events coming up, and one of those is actually at Universal. Oh. So remember last week we talked about cheating on Disney?
Yes.
That should just be one of our series now.
Yeah.
Little segments, cheating on Disney. So I will be cheating on Disney on May 11th at Universal's Fan Fest. Have you heard of this yet?
I am shocked. I have not heard of it.
Universal Fan Fest Nights. Don't know if they're doing it in Universal Orlando, but it is here in Hollywood, and this is the very first one.
Oh.
It's an after-hours event. They are totally ripping off Disney.
Smart.
Fine with it,
Yeah.
because they have a whole separate set of IP, right?
Yeah.
So it's going to be fun. So their description says, a night of fandom awaits. Universal Fan Fest Nights, an all-new after-hours event with the fandoms you love in one place every event night. Ooh. Celebrate with other fans to the best sci-fi, fantasy, gaming, and anime like never before. So this is a totally different version of this, right? Step into the worlds of Star Trek, Back to the Future, may find the DeLorean there, just saying, Dungeons and Dragons, One Piece, and Jujutsu Kaisen, as well as the wizarding world of Harry Potter and Super Nintendo World. Geek out.
That's a
for
that's
real.
a lot of fandoms in one thing. But,
yeah.
And then you're saying different nights have a different theme, or they're all at one time?
No, it's all combined somehow.
Those
I think they're probably going to have
ones.
areas.
I love that they even included like anime in there.
I know.
It's almost
so
like
this
a
is Geek
con.
Out for Real. Huh?
It sounds like a con, like a Comic Con.
I know, yeah. There's so much.
Fanticon.
Geek Out for Real with in-world experiences, celebratory moments, themed food, and exclusive merchandise that takes fandom to the whole new level. So, I'm actually really excited about this. I started looking a little more into it as I bought my ticket finally. I kept forgetting to buy it. Luckily, it was still available. I'm going with some friends. Shout out to Courtney and Kelly, I know, are going. I think Skywalking through Neverland will also be there. I'm pretty sure they said they're going. So I'm going to have some friends to hang out with, some Disney friends. So I'm not super cheating on Disney. I'm cheating on Disney with a other bunch of cheaters. So
swingers.
That works.
We're
all swingers. I love that. Theme park swingers. We have to figure out some t-shirt with the upside down pineapple like on a roller coaster or something.
SpongeBob, Pineapple Under the Sea. Is that Universal? I don't know.
There you go.
Nickelodeon.
So it says, engage in an unforgettable Star Trek Odyssey. It says, prepare for a journey beyond the stars in this immersive Star Trek experience. And
wow.
Buzzword for me right now is immersive. So I'm excited to see what the heck this means.
And you know what? Like Trekkies, which is what Star Trek fans are called. I almost said Star Wars. They are like the OG fandom. I remember hearing about them like when we were kids, right? You know, I don't think either you or I are into Star Trek, but there is a huge fandom out there.
There is.
Just by itself, let alone all those other ones you're going to talk about.
Yep. The next one says, you've got to go back to the future. And it says there's a time and place for everything. And that's in 1955. Step into Hill Valley, which I love that it's like the year that Disneyland opened. It's kind of cute. So, got to find your references here and there. But the cool part is that they have, they have the set there, right? For Back to the Future. So, that can, come to life in a really cool way.
Are you going to be able to go there? Is it going to be held there in that little town square?
I would hope so. That would only make sense,
Anytime
right?
I see a movie or TV show where it goes by that building, I know exactly that it's the Universal backlot. They use that a lot still to this day to just be a town square. Wow, that's cool.
Yep. And then the Dungeons and Dragons one says fantasy becomes a reality as you help solve the mystery of the water deep. So that might be like a game or some kind of thing. One Piece has set sail into the world of One Piece with Luffy and his crew. No idea how they're doing that. It doesn't really say anything else about these anime ones. Go to the max with the manga series Jujutsu Kaisen. What does that mean? I don't know. And then grab your robes and wands for a night of fandom. Polyjuice Potion can only get you so far. So that's the Wizarding World of Harry Potter. And then last but not least, let's go Yoshi. Take the fun to the next level and meet Yoshi inside the Mushroom Kingdom.
What?
So hold on. I hadn't even remembered that. Okay, there's multiple different tickets you can buy for this event, including one where you start your day at 2 p.m. The event starts, I think, at 7. Oh. So you can get an event ticket that starts at 7. It's a little cheaper, but it's not much more to just start at 2, and you can go to the park for the afternoon before the event. And they were talking me into that one. I was like, I don't know, I need to do all that. I completely forgot about Super Mario World because I just was waiting to go to Universal Orlando, right? But now that Yoshi is in the mix, who is literally one of my, other than Zelda characters, Yoshi is my next absolute favorite. I was obsessed with him as a kid, so I can't pass it up. So I'm going to have to go peek at least at Mario Land and see what it's like over there.
I'm very jealous and mad that you're going before Epic Universe, but
I know. I almost didn't want to, but Yoshi,
and that trip
I can't.
Got messed up anyway, so
true.
You got to go see it. Are you going to ride Mario Kart?
I will.
You might as well.
A few times in a row in the back left seat. Shout out Nicole.
Supposedly that back left seat
you know.
is really good. It's real extra. You get extra immersiveness in that.
Yeah, exactly.
How exciting!
So yeah, this is a little different than the regular, for me. But I am actually really excited about it, and I'm a big Back to the Future fan. I always like when people say, what's your favorite trilogy, which usually is everyone's answer is Star Wars. Mine is usually a tie between Indiana Jones and Back to the Future. So it's those are, big for me. So I'm very, very excited.
You know what? Too,
mostly for the Back to the Future part.
The Back to the Future merch could be really cool if they design it well. Yeah. Ooh, I want it.
So we'll see how this goes. It'll be their first event, and I'll be going to a couple other Disney events to have a fresh comparison because, got to do it for research, right? So another couple events I'm going to is Adventureland Day, which is Sunday, March 2nd at Disneyland. Now, this is just a fan day. So, everybody gets themed to Adventureland. Lots of, Adventureland kind of stuff. You would think, Jungle Cruise, Indiana Jones. Why am I spacing the name of the bar in Disney Springs?
Tiki. Enchanted Tiki Room?
No. Well, yes, but what the heck is the one I always mad at? Adventurers Club.
Jock Lindsay's? Oh, Adventurers Club.
Think that. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, not Disney Springs. What was it called before? Just Downtown Disney? No, there's another
Pleasure
one.
Island.
Pleasure Island. Pleasure Island. So that will be super fun. Sunday, April 27th is also Tiki Day. So it's just a little bit later, and it'll feel kind of similar, but it's getting really into Tiki vibes then. But before most of that, I have an event coming up, and it's 90s night. And this is one of the after-hour events at Disney, after-dark events at Disney.
Wait, hold on.
That they've had before.
Before we jump into the DeLorean, you had mentioned Pleasure Island, and it just reminded me that on April 19th, one of the very few remaining adult areas is closing. Jelly Rolls Dueling Piano Bar at Disney's Boardwalk at Disney World is closing April 19th. And I don't think you have any trips planned. So it's gone for you. I'm going to try to get there before April 19th, but that makes me very sad.
That is very sad. That was some really, really good memories.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm like vibing out in SoCal right now. Like, I'm so entertained here. I don't even have a trip back home planned, let alone anywhere else. I'm like so overwhelmed, but overjoyed also. You know, it's just like so much happening, and it's just so good. Yeah, so excited nonetheless. But let's get in that DeLorean and let's talk about 90s night at Disneyland. So I did not get to go previously, but there's some really cool stuff on this list, and I don't know exactly how different it is. So if you guys were able to go to a previous one, like, this may sound redundant, but I just want to go over it because it sounds really fun.
And this one is official Disney, right? 90s night.
Yes, this is when they're After Dark nights. Yep.
Cool.
So under entertainment and characters, it says, get into the groove with your favorite 90s tunes with this high energy dance party. Is it actually going to be high energy, or did they just mean high energy?
How did they spell
like
it?
the high energy style of music,
yeah.
Or just like an actual something that's high energy?
I've sometimes seen the music genre with capital N, capital R, capital G.
Right, yeah, right.
Hot 97.7.
Doesn't say that.
It's gone. I don't think that station even exists.
Hot 97.7.
With the writing was real cool too. Bumper stickers.
Yeah. And didn't it have like a kiss on it, like
I think so,
lips or something?
Wow, what a time.
So I'm crossing my fingers for some freestyle 90s high energy music. That would be so cool,
when
but we'll
I hear
see.
Music, it makes me dance.
Give me some Debbie Deb.
Yes.
What's up? And then it says, jump into Disneyland nostalgia as we highlight some of our favorite parades of the 90s along with the Disneyland parade route. Or along the Disneyland parade route.
That's cool.
It's like, what does that mean? How are they doing that?
To get like a float of each, one float from each parade.
Like, do they still have them sitting around?
I wonder. There were some
That would
pretty
be
good
crazy.
ones. There was like Aladdin. They had Lion King. There's a lot.
Yeah. Wow. The Lion King one was probably like a lot of people's favorite parade.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So, very excited for that. Then it says, dance the night away on Tomorrowland. It says on Tomorrowland Terrace, which is kind of weird. I would say in Tomorrowland Terrace. Oh. I guess it's kind of on it. I don't know. Tomorrowland Terrace and get jiggy, which I don't like, but it's featuring Max dressed as for a Powerline concert and Goofy and his exclusive 90s dance party. So
that makes sense for them to host that little party there.
Right.
Oh.
Yeah. It's like their concert.
Okay.
Yeah.
Tevin Campbell might show up, who was the voice.
Who?
Tevin Campbell, 90s
Oh my
R&B.
God, stop it. Can we talk? Is that him?
Yep, that's him. He sang all the Powerline vocals.
For a minute. Girl, I want to know your name. And the next thing on the list, perfect segue, get nostalgic at the Golden Horseshoe and sing along to your favorite 90s tunes.
Oh.
Can I just stay there all night?
That's cool. We were just talking about Jelly Rolls, too. They need to bring something like that over to Anaheim. Oh, my God, it would be so fun.
Yeah. And then, of course, see Disney characters from Disney Afternoon and some of your favorite 90s Disney's movies. So, yeah. I am super excited. And then it has a keepsake, which I think is another fanny pack. They did that last year as well. So I'm going to get this cute little 90s themed fanny pack that I will literally never use. But you're supposed to dress up. Now, this is the weird one. I don't have anything, so I need to go shopping pretty soon here. So we'll see how that works out.
There's a 90s. Maybe you could look on eBay and get like a cool Disneyland shirt from the 90s or something.
Right. Yeah, that'd be fun.
You'd think we would have that.
Maybe I do have something.
Because we are the 90s.
I have that neon Epcot jacket. Maybe I could wear that one. Ooh. It's kind of 90s. We'll see.
Put some baggy Jinko jeans. They're back in. The baggy jeans.
Oh my God, if I just dress up like a raver, I should just do that. Where's my candy beads? It's my candy bracelet. So the elastic is all stretched out now. Like it's like warped. It doesn't work anymore. Hilarious.
Oh my God, and then you can pass out Disneyholics bead.
Yeah, maybe I should make
bracelets.
more Disneyholic things. But everybody just thinks that's Taylor Swift now. They won't even get what I'm doing.
Stupid Taylor Swift. Well,
She
I
doesn't even go
wear
here.
our Disneyholics bracelet all the time.
Thank you. I do too. I actually, dang it, I actually had it on about an hour ago when I had a long sleeve
When
on.
I get
I
home,
swear, I was wearing it today.
I take off all my jewelry, and I got this really cool porcelain Mary Poppins umbrella that's upside down with the bird. It's a little jewelry holder that I got at Epcot recently. I love it.
Very cute.
Yeah.
What is it? Wait, what is it?
It's the umbrella open but
Yeah,
upside
but what
down.
piece of jewelry is it?
Oh, that's where I put my bracelets and necklace when I get home, including the
Oh,
Disney
oh,
Holics
gotcha,
one.
gotcha.
Yeah.
That's cute. It's like a little dish or something.
Yeah. I like it.
That's cool. All right, so we went to FanFest at Universal. We found the DeLorean, and we went inside. We put the plutonium,
yeah.
right? Yeah.
In the first
Plutonium.
one, in part 2, I think trash powers it, which is
Oh wait, where we? Yeah, we're going
eco-friendly.
back. We're going back. So it's plutonium. So that's fine. So we're going back, and we're going to 1990 Disneyland. And this is all the 90s, but first we're going to start off in 1990. And just we want to take a peek at what did Disneyland look and feel like in 1990. Now, this was celebrating the big 35th anniversary, which I actually don't realize until I said this out loud. That's not actually a big anniversary number. It's like a random one, right?
They do it every
Like
5 now, right? Like,
Yeah, 70 is coming, 60. We celebrated 65. We celebrated, you're right, all the fives.
but
So it's the
I'm
35th
with
anniversary.
You that I like the big ones, which I think are quarters. Like if you're
Yeah,
going to
it's
do a
quarters.
5,
They're too far apart, though.
yeah,
It's a
it
long
would be
time.
25,
Yeah.
50, 75, 100. And they got to sell tickets and merch every 5
Right,
years.
yeah, exactly. Exactly. Which, by the way, is long over now, but if anybody's listening and wants to get there for the opening day of the 70th anniversary of Disneyland, go get your reservations quick because it's May 16th and it's already been open since basically the night of Valentine's Day. So go grab them if they're still available. But anyway, so we're in our DeLorean. We're going back to 1990. What did Disneyland look like? First of all, they were having their 35th anniversary and it was called a Dream Machine. Do you remember this era of Disneyland when they had like all these prizes they were giving away?
Was there
Like
a car?
cars and yeah.
I remember a car, and still
There was
weird.
cars and Delta, I think, sponsored it. So they had Delta airline flights and all sorts of big prizes. And they had, which I did not know this, they had an actual thing called a Dream Machine. And it was this giant float near the castle. And if you had your ticket printed and it showed on your ticket that you get to check out the Dream Machine, you then get to take your ticket into the Dream Machine, put it in there, and it tells you what you won.
What?
And it would be like a myriad of things where it's like a myriad of things where some of them are not like huge, but they're cool prizes nonetheless. And then you might get a car also. So like, what the heck? I didn't know this thing existed. So I found that out right before recording. So I want to actually look more into that at some point because this anniversary was a big deal. Like they did more than they did for the 50th at Disney World. So like, I want to look into like how they used to plan these. Burn. Sorry, Disney World. So very cool. It was kicking off like big in 1990. But what did the rest of the 90s feel like, right? So in 1990, a one-day adult ticket was $25.
Wow.
$25.
Yeah.
That's it. And gradually throughout the 90s, like by the time we were like 1999, it was $41. So still like quite affordable. And this is kind of the era I'm starting to remember now because this is when I was like able to go on my own. And I remember thinking in my head, I was like, I can't get anyone to go to Disneyland because it's $50. And I remember that being a lot of money.
Especially being
right?
younger.
So, yeah. And I remember that era of like when it was right around $50 and you just couldn't get anybody to go. It was too expensive, which is hilarious to think about now. Literally, Christy's coming to visit me soon. Shout out to Christy. Her ticket, the day that she's here, is going to cost her one park hopper day, $270. Like,
what?
One day. She might as well get an annual pass at that point.
Yeah. That stresses me out because it puts the pressure if people visit us and they have to pay for a ticket. We can't do AP Brain with them because you can't.
I know.
Like you're seeing the money go
Luckily,
through.
she thrives off of AP Brain,
Oh, good.
so I think she'll be fine. Like, I think she's even considering getting a 2-day just because it's The 2 days only, what, let me think, $60 more. So she's like, I almost want to just get it 2 days so we can like kind of, take our time.
Yeah.
So,
Okay, that's smart.
right, yeah.
But damn, that's a lot of money.
Wild. Obviously, there was no California Adventure yet. It was still just a parking lot, which is hilarious to think about, with trams driving all around it. The annual passes were super affordable. Like everybody was going. I remember my annual pass in like 2005 or something was only like $300. So like, again, crazy. But what was going on in the park is that not much was actually going on in the parks. There's a huge focus on a lot of other things, including the international parks. Recently, we talked all about the failure of Euro Disney and how that affected everything, and then how that like kind of bled over into California Adventure. So they were not only planning all this stuff with all these international parks and building them out, but they were also focusing on the second gate over here in Southern California. So they had a lot of stuff going on in the parks that was not necessarily in Disneyland. And also, outside of that, they had the Disney Renaissance films going on, right? Big deal. It's like a huge new wave of cinema that were just blowing up everything. And then they were doing all their incentives with Disney Channel and the home video programs and everything else. So Disney was just like growing like what's something that grows really fast, like a fungus or like an
eggplant.
Like, eggplant. Ooh, okay. I love where your brain's at. Okay, but
yeah, that's corporate synergy at its height.
Right. I think that was like kind of one of those eras where we really see Disney starting to like go big. Before that, it was like a little more refined, and they were like kind of, working on Disney World and Disneyland, and then really start out after like the 80s. So anyway, I do remember the parks being exceptionally light as far as attendance goes. Like I have visuals every time I think about going to Disneyland in the 90s. I picture Main Street like almost empty. Like it was just like, it was like this nice breeze of walking through Disneyland, and the only rides that were super busy was like Splash Mountain and during the summertime, right? So it was like things like that were obviously very different than now.
Yeah, my memories of it too, it was comfortable.
Yeah, it was just easier and it wasn't so stressful. I feel like that feeling of people being like, oh my God, I'm so stressed out. I've been walking all day at Disneyland and all that stuff came like later. Right?
I think the first thing that stressed me out in the 90s as a kid was Fantasmic. Like that's the first time where I experienced like having to sit in a big crowd and wait hours to watch something.
Yeah, that'll do it to you for sure. So I was looking through which Disneyland attractions were open so we can like get an idea of what we could do at Disneyland during the 90s. And I was actually pretty shocked of how many attractions were opened in Disneyland that are still there today. Oh. And I'm going to put a pop quiz on you. Ooh. If you were to guess how many attractions in Disneyland that are still open today that were there during the 90s, not necessarily open in the 90s, but just there, how many would you assume?
I would say at least 12 of the attractions are still there.
12?
Yeah.
Try doubling that to 24.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Wow.
So I'm going to run off them real fast. And these are the ones I could figure out. And I might be missing some here and there, but this is what
at this point, even today, Disneyland has become just Disneyland itself, not DCA. It's like a 2-day park now. It's huge. There's so much stuff. And then Galaxy's Edge, I always forget is there. And it's like this whole other thing.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah.
Whole other beast. Totally. So obviously a lot of opening day rides are there. So Disneyland Railroad, the Main Street Vehicles, Jungle Cruise, King Arthur's Carousel, Mad Tea Party, Mark Twain Riverboat, Mr. Toad's Wild Ride, Peter Pan's Flight, Storybook Canal. Those all like stood the test of time. Even Casey Jr. was shortly after. It was like a month later or something. Like they all have just been there forever. Oh, and Autopia, 1955 as well.
Wow.
And then we have the Frontierland Shooting Exposition, Sailing Ship Columbia, Alice in Wonderland, Matterhorn Bobsleds, Monorail, Great Moments of Mr. Lincoln, which is kind of there today a little bit. We'll talk about that some other time. Pirates of the Caribbean, Haunted Mansion, Tom Sawyer Island River Rafts, Space Mountain, Big Thunder Mountain, and Walt Disney's Enchanted Tiki Room. All still open, and were there during the 90s. Wow. So we can still kind of picture what maybe it would have felt like in the 90s, because we could still do a lot of things that we did back then, right?
And that explains why, like, when you ask Disneyholics who have gone to both Disney World and Disneyland, like, there's a reason why Disneyland feels so special. It still has a lot of those Walt Disney fingerprints on all over it.
Right, yeah. And then there's still a few. I'm actually moving something down here. Put this here because I put in the wrong section. There's some rides that were reimagined or renamed that were also there during the 90s and still there today. So Star Tours is a great example of that. It's not the exact same version of Star Tours now, but it's Star Tours, right? Splash Mountain is now Tiana's Bayou. Actually, that should have been in a different section too, because that's a different ride. Let's be real. Snow White's Scary Adventures is now Snow White's Enchanted Wish. Tom Sawyer Island is now Pirate's Lair. And the Davy Crockett Explorer canoes, they used to be called Indian War canoes, which I don't even think I ever knew.
Wow. Well, you know what? They are inconsistent with the the addressing of the indigenous peoples. Like, I was just on the Disney World Railroad, and I think Disneyland has it too. When I still pass the people with the horses and like the campfire, something seems
right. I'm like,
off about it.
Totally.
So yeah, it is what it is. Was Mark Twain boat there too?
Yes. Oh, was it? Maybe I missed that one on my list. It would have been their opening day.
Oh, nice.
And then two more that I remember why I put these in this category now, because these rides have been changed, but were there in the 90s. So the Submarine Voyage, which was, moved into Finding Nemo, which is a different attraction, same as that Splash Mountain situation. And then Country Bear Jamboree, I miss it so much, was there during the 90s, closed in 2001. So yeah, all those rides you can still go on. And then we got some new things coming to Disneyland in the 90s, right? We had Disney Afternoon Avenue. Now, this was kind of like a cavalcade, parade type deal area. Also, you could go to where they just had a bunch of like these pop-up situations with, I don't even know how to explain it. It was like close to where Toontown is. And they had a bunch of floats that were just kind of always out. And you can meet characters from the Disney Afternoon shows. And then they had Light Magic, which was a pretty short-lived, I think it was only one season, which followed the Great Electrical Parade, right? Main Street Electrical Parade.
It retired for this big replacement, Light Magic. I remember this was probably as a kid in the 90s was one of the first times I was thinking like a Disneyholic, like the operation side, because I remember them building those big light posts around Small World leading out to the gate and knowing that this new magical thing was going to come. And the way they described it, it sounded so futuristic and fantastical. And I don't know if I ever saw it because it came and went. But the infrastructure is still there today. Those tall white beams at the back of the park. So weird. What a time.
Huh. That's crazy. I did not know that those were built for
Light Magic. Mm-hmm.
That's cool. Fantasmic was another thing, as you mentioned earlier, 1992 that opened. So that's been going strong, came and went, and came right back. The Fantasyland Theater, it was previously Videopolis, but it changed over in 1995 as the Fantasyland Theater.
Wait, this stuff is weird. So when you're in the DeLorean, and then you just said 92 is when Fantasmic opened, and I remember clear as day, like going to watch that several times, the opening year. But when you remember that, Are you remembering it as a, oh my God, a kid? I would have been like 10 or, or do you remember it just like right now? Is it just a set of eyeballs? Does this make sense?
It's a tough one because I can remember it both.
Oh.
I can remember seeing it for the first time, and then I can remember getting excited that it came back
Oh,
and
there
being sad
was
that it
that.
left and all
Yeah.
those like feelings that come here and there with Fantasmic, right? Or anything in the park really, but yeah, so kind of like have different boxes of memories with that
Wow.
box of friends.
Because like, what is like 11-year-old, 12-year-old us like? What did we do? Like, what did we care about? What was the things weighing on our mind while we were waiting for Fantasmic? Like, I can't imagine that stuff. I just think of
I
it
think
as
I was in
me.
the mode still of like, are we there yet? I was probably bored out of my mind. I was like, why aren't we on a ride? This is stupid. Why are we just sitting here? And then I had my literal mind blown when the show started.
Still,
And I'm
it
like,
still
just kidding,
does.
never
Still
mind.
hits the spot.
Yeah, it does. It really does. All right, so Fantasmic, we got the Fantasyland Theater. Mickey's Toontown opened in
Oh,
1993, so a whole new land. That's a big deal.
yeah,
Which also brought us Roger Rabbit's Cartoon Spin.
yeah.
So that was a really, really cool attraction. I think a ride that's more ahead of its time than probably any Disney attraction was Indiana Jones Adventure, which
Still
opened in
is.
1995.
Yep.
Celebrated its 30th anniversary, March 3rd. Oh, shoot. I should have gone on March 3rd.
Dun-dun-dun.
Need to get a reservation. Whoops. Anyway,
You only get, how many do you get on your pass as a local?
6. I need
Six.
more.
Six
Give me
reservations.
more. I was thinking I was having like chaotic thoughts the other night when I was like stressed out about that. I'm like, should I just buy like a second annual pass?
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
That's how crazy it is.
Another, yeah, you'll get a whole nother group of reservations available.
There's all these special things and people coming into town that I don't want to risk not having a pass or a thing for, you know?
I don't like that. It's
And they're always on the freaking weekends, which are the hardest to get. So, like, ay. Anyway. So, yeah, Indiana Jones Adventure opened in 95. Tarzan's Treehouse opened in 99, so end of the 90s. But we had the Swiss Family Robinson for most of the 90s. Also, when did this one close? Oh, there's a gap there. America Sings closed, I think, in 74. Maybe not. It opened in 74. A couple years. And then there's a gap. In 1998, Interventions opened.
Oh,
We
okay.
got
So
to see
the
that.
America Sings close, they turned it into Interventions.
Yep. And then in 1998, the shortest lived rocket. Oh, I ruined it. I was going to make you guess. Rocket Rods opened in 1998. I think it's the shortest lived Disney attraction. Maybe not. Maybe like the Moonliner or
One
something
of them
like that
for
was
sure.
shorter. But
Yeah.
yeah,
It's like
definitely up
notorious
there.
for that.
Yep. This one tripped me out. May of 1998 is when Honey, I Shrunk the Audience opened.
It seems late.
I was already
right?
like graduating high school when that came out. I thought I saw it as a kid.
Oh, it makes sense though because Captain EO couldn't have been there at the same time. So
Yeah, Captain EO closed in 97. I just thought I had seen that as like a child for some
younger,
reason. I don't
right?
know.
Yeah, we were already
Yeah, like at
teens
least like
by then,
yeah, exactly. I was like graduating high school by the time that opened.
and I
1
still
month
thought it
away.
was cool.
Right, that's what I think. I'm like, I feel like I wouldn't have thought it was that cool at that age, but I did think it was cool.
Yeah.
So cheers to them.
And we did. That was our time too, like because we were kids when the movies came out, and so it was probably nostalgic for us too. We're like, ooh,
Right. Yeah,
wow,
totally. I
look
love
at
that movie. And then one of the biggest changes of the 90s happened, and this was like something that has had iterations since, and something that changed the entire way that we look and operate and go walking and everything that we do at Disneyland. Do you know what that was?
walking and paper fast passes were introduced in the 90s.
Yep.
Wow.
You even said paper. I love it.
Yep.
Paper fast passes, 1999. So the very end of the 90s, but they were there. They made it into the decade. Wow, what a difference that started changing everything, right? So
Everything.
that was pretty wild.
That's when you started needing at least one expert in your group. to
Yeah.
know what to
Yeah.
do. Someone need to run and go get them and hold everyone's tickets and then bring them back. Wear a
Yep.
lanyard or something to
Absolutely.
keep it on. Wow.
Oh yeah. Oh my god, I remember
Yeah.
that. The little clear ones and you put them. Oh my gosh,
Yep.
that's so funny.
Would you volunteer to be the runner? I would do it. I don't mind doing
Hell
it. Oh no,
no.
I didn't mind doing it because I didn't trust anyone to do it fast enough but myself.
That's
Especially that was
hilarious. I
that
was
long
lazy, so I was like, I'm not going anywhere.
there was a long
Hanging out.
ramp up Space Mountain and then you had to go all the way back and then
I
what a
remember that
hassle
too.
off.
That also seems like yesterday. Getting those fast passes, those physical ones there. Oh my gosh, it's crazy. And then the sad part, we have the in memoriam of the attractions that closed in the 90s. The motorboat cruise closed in 1993. I thought the same thing, and I kind of laughed to myself, like, did they really call it that? All right.
Wait, hold on. The motorboat cruise, the version I remember riding, I think, was in the 90s during the Disney afternoon stuff because it was gummy bears.
Gummy bears bouncing here and there and everywhere.
bears.
Yep. I should have put that in this list too, because that's another iteration of
Yeah,
that
because I don't think I
attraction, you're
ever went on those boats outside of the gummy bears version.
right. I don't think I did either, which is also weird.
Yeah, and it
It
was
was kind of out of sight, out of mind, right? Like they had that weird dock that you had to walk down. So I don't
that eventually
remember
turned
going down
into
it.
smoking area, and then now it's just
Yeah,
seating. I
yeah.
think.
Yeah, it's just seating now.
Wow.
It's kind of a cool place to go find extra space while the fireworks are going off if you ever need like a little hideaway spot.
That's a good tip.
Not a lot of people go out there. This was a sad one. You ready for this? The People Mover closed in 1995. R.I.P. And then the Skyway as well closed in 1994.
Shoot.
Yep.
Those are two like
R.I.P..
major Walt Disney transportation
Yeah.
makes the park look kinetic and alive and all that. Huh.
Totally. Totally. Along with Tomorrowland stuff, we had the Circle Vision 360 closed down in 1997. That was then replaced with Buzz Lightyear Astro Blasters. And the Rocket Jets also closed in 97. That was replaced by Astro Orbiters in 98, which moved to the front of Tomorrowland instead of on the top of the People Mover deck, which is way cooler.
That's the whole point of that ride was supposed to be
But
up
who am I?
higher than Dumbo and the other ones.
Right. Right. Also, I didn't even think about it, but our, whatever it's called, Astro Orbiter is like pretty steampunky looking, right? It's like that
Yeah,
gold.
it was one of the few things that made it through the Jules Verne
Discoveryland.
redo of Tomorrowland before budget cuts. Yep.
Hilarious.
The 360, I think I hated that. I think like my dad always wanted to go. Was it China? It was like boring. You just stood up, kind of like the Canada one in Epcot today.
I can't remember if they had multiple ones or not. I think they had multiple ones that came through, but yes, there's definitely a China one.
Yeah. I don't think
And I think they still have it in China and Epcot right now?
I think so.
Or no?
I probably just skip it.
Yeah, right? Oh my gosh.
But and the Canada one.
Shout out to Nicole for that one too, for Canada.
She got real motion sickness.
Poor thing. She's like holding on to me. I'm like, what? Are you okay? And I didn't even realize it caused motion sickness. I'm like, oh, I didn't think about that. My bad. Sorry. So yeah, so that's a wrap on the attractions portion of what was going on in the parks in the 90s. But also I just wanted to mention a couple things that were just like kind of fun and different in the 90s. First of all, churros and Dole Whips were literally just that. They weren't like churros with strawberries and pink sugar crystals and dip sauce and lemon or whatever. Or like Dole Whips that are a swirl of strawberry and mango with all this crap on top of it. It was just literally churros and Dole Whips, and we were happy, and that was fine.
Yeah. I've never really cared for the specialty churros. I still like
Yeah,
just a
me
classic
either.
one, yeah.
Me either.
They look nice like
Yeah.
on Instagram, but I rather just
Yeah.
have to eat the classic ones.
I like the flavor of an actual churro, and you lose it with all the other stuff.
Yeah.
The one I have liked was the Fluffernutter one. It just has marshmallow and peanut butter on it, and that's pretty good. But again, I think the only thing I could taste is the marshmallow and the peanut butter at that point.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense.
What else? Oh, yeah. They sold, I just thought this was a funny one. They sold McDonald's French fries in Disneyland with
Westward
like
Ho.
Westward Ho was a whole ass thing, and all it sold was French fries. It's just like, that was it. French fries or get the hell out. Like maybe soda. I don't know.
It tasted. I mean, you got that what you wanted. It was just the fries, the salty fries. You could smell it when you're walking by Frontierland. Wow.
Oh my god, and it's intoxicating, right? It's like,
wow. So that came and went in the 90s.
yep.
That's so funny.
No, the fries lasted for a while.
Oh.
They were there till I don't know when, but I know for sure it was there at least till like probably 2007. I can remember seeing it. Like it lasted for a bit.
Oh, I bet you it went away the same time Burger Invasion at DCA went away.
Probably.
Like all the
they probably
McDonald's deals.
cut their yeah.
That's so fascinating.
Totally. So yeah, so that kind of gave you a vibe of what Disneyland was like in the 90s. Definitely a little different breed than what we have today. Also, I forgot to mention this too. Another thing, just like the churros and the Dole Whips, like the merchandise was like so different. It was just like characters, like Disneyland, like the year and like a bunch of the characters on the shirt.
I can't remember. And then
there was like the Mickey
I wasn't
hats
allowed to buy anything. Everything was expensive.
They didn't have any of the fancy mini headbands. Like it was like kind of basic.
Oh yeah,
headwear for the Mickey
you get
stuff.
the Mickey hat with the embroidery, and that was enough.
Yeah. Yep. Exactly. So things were a simpler time in the 90s at Disneyland, for sure. But I still loved it, and like, I guess I took it for granted because I didn't know what we were getting into about the crowds and how different it would feel later. But every moment of it, I still appreciated just as much as I do today. So anyway, do you have anything else you want to add about the 90s at Disneyland before I go into a game?
On my back pocket, I had the Westward Ho wagon, but I'm glad you mentioned it. French fries.
It is important, we have to make sure we talk about the Westward Ho. Okay, so I put together a little game. Ooh. So I'm going to put you to the test. Are you excited?
Yes.
Okay, good answer. I didn't think that would be the right answer, but it is. Definitely is. All right, so I put together this game. It's a mixture of a bunch of different types of questions. There's going to be fill in the blanks, multiple choice, true or false. Ooh. So we'll just go through them one at a time, and everybody at home, feel free to play along. And I'm going to keep your score. So
this is our very own dream machine. I got the ticket. I'm going inside.
This is the dream machine. That is right.
Happening.
That is right. And I'm going to keep your score here. So Mike, let's write it down. So everybody at home, it's just 1 point per question. We're not going to get crazy with it. And some of this we may have covered in the little bit I just did on what it was like in the 90s. So it's also a little bit of a pop quiz to see if you guys were paying attention.
That's also very 90s, pop quizzes.
Right. Yes, totally. It just also really reminds me of those like questions in the like Teen Bop magazines.
Oh, yes.
Like they had those little question things are so fun to respond to or to answer. And they had the answer key upside down as if that's like.
Or sometimes
so
it's like on the back page. You get the answer.
Yeah, it's like hidden somewhere in the back of the book. Totally. So we're going to do that in the spirit of the 90s. So yeah, at home, keep your score. And then if you feel like sharing with us over Instagram, please let us know if you did better than Mike.
That's the challenge. Okay.
All right. This one is you just have to answer it. There's no multiple choice. So what year did Indiana Jones Adventure open at Disneyland?
1995.
Ding, ding, ding. Oh, got it.
That's
nice one. Good start.
40th would have been, I think.
I can't do math yet. 30th.
Wait, no,
Wait, what are you saying?
40th. It came out for the 40th Disneyland anniversary.
Oh, they're celebrating their 30th this year. So I got mixed up.
Oh, Indiana Jones.
Yes, the 40th anniversary of Disneyland is when it opened, and it's now celebrating its 30th this year.
That's That's a really big ride to anchor the 40th.
Right.
That doesn't
yeah,
happen
and
all the
that
time.
ride was It's so good. Like,
Yeah.
still, I'll take people on it for their first time ever, and they're like, "Oh my god, that was amazing!" I'm like, "That ride is 30 years old. Like,
Yeah.
that's cool." All right, um, fill in the blank. Do I want to do fill in the blank here? I think I'm going to change this. This is just going to be, I just have to answer it again,
Okay.
like the first one. What was the final ride to be built in Disneyland's original Tomorrowland before its 1998 overhaul?
What was the last ride to be built before the 98 overhaul?
Yes.
Captain EO.
Wrong.
Oh, shoot. Star Tours.
Honey, I Shrunk the Audience. We just
Oh,
talked
for
about.
some reason I thought that was the overhaul. I thought that was the beginning of the overhaul. Fine.
Nope, nope, nope. All right, next one. Let's see here. Which Disneyland nighttime show debuted in 1992?
Wait, this seems too easy because we were just talking about it, but now I'm second guessing. Did it come out in that? Fantasmic! Exclamation point.
Fantasmic.
Okay, yeah.
Yes. There will be some, harder and easier questions as we go throughout here. Which new land was added to Disneyland in 1993? And again, I'm not going to do these because...
Toontown.
Actually, I am. A, Toontown. B, Critter Country. C, Pixar Pier. Or D, New Orleans Square.
Toontown.
Toontown. Dang it. I was hoping that the Critter Country would throw you off.
Yeah, it almost did. Almost.
I saw you go, oh. That was 1989, so just before the 90s. Okay, we already know that one.
Critter Country
I'm going to
is
skip some of these.
as young as 1989. It wasn't there before.
No, it changed when Splash Mountain came in, yeah.
Ah, okay. Makes sense.
Okay. It was called Bear Country before for the Country Bears.
And now it's Bayou Country.
Yep.
Fine.
All the other, fine. It's fine. Beam. Okay, in 1996, Disneyland said farewell to this parade.
It was one of the times they said farewell to the Main Street Electrical Parade.
Ding, ding, ding. One of the many, but it was the very first time we had to say goodbye to the Main Street Electrical Parade.
Wow.
1971 to 1996, we got to have that. And then we thought it was gone. And then they started messing with our hearts for the rest of time.
Yep.
Probably still going to happen. Okay. Let's see here.
That
we know
was
this
actually-
one. That was too easy.
That was a popular business strategy for them in the 90s. Remember, they would put the movies in the vault and then they would come back out of the vault. And it was the only time you could buy Cinderella. It was Diamond
Yeah,
Edition.
man. They're just tricking us all. They still do that with a lot of things. Like, oh, this is exclusive merch. And then it's just in like the regular store later. Like, what? Oh my gosh. Like Batu. There's a lot of that stuff that you can't even buy it anywhere else but Batu. And it's just everywhere.
Now
I'm like,
it's
come
everywhere.
on, man.
Like Target, too, I think you could buy it.
Target.
They had like Galaxy's Edge
Oh,
section.
no. True or false? Space Mountain had a major refurbishment in the 90s that completely changed the track.
False.
False. You are right. It was 2005. They had it shut down for 2 years, but the track actually stayed the same. It just got redone. It was,
Yeah.
yeah, the same.
Which they
shape,
need to do to
new track.
Matterhorn, please.
Yeah, seriously. What was the name of the interactive street performance in Disneyland's Frontierland from 96 to 98?
Interact.
I'm sorry, I said the wrong land. Fantasyland.
Interactive. 96 and 98. Is this the light magic thing? No, that's a
No,
parade.
it says. Oh, I guess yeah. Okay, this is an interactive street performance.
Oh, the Disney Afternoon.
No. It's the Festival of
Oh my
Fools.
god, I'm so mad. Right when you were about to say the
I'm really
S.
surprised you missed it.
Yeah, I didn't, and we didn't talk about it earlier, so I didn't. It wasn't in my brain. Shoot, that is one of the best live entertainment spectaculars they built because it was a
It
circle and
was
a
really
round
good.
theater. It was so unique. It felt like you were really in the town square in front of Notre Dame in Paris, where the cartoon was. Oh, that was such a good time. He was
It
swinging
was
from the
very cool.
rafters, singing out there, out there. And that was back in the Big Thunder Ranch they took over, I believe.
Yep.
Wow.
I always
Oh.
think it was in the Fantasyland Theater. But that was something else. I wonder what that was. I have a picture of Danielle and I down there, and it looks like Festival of Fools, but it's
Oh,
not. I don't know what
interesting.
it is.
Huh.
I need to find out what that was now, but maybe she'll know. So this is a fill in the blank.
Okay.
Okay. The 1994 film The Lion King featured the hit song Blank, sung by Sir Elton John.
Can you feel the love
I was waiting for it to come.
tonight?
It's like, solidify, solidify.
Because he wrote a lot of them, but I was like, but sung, it was just that one, I think. Yeah.
Yep, that's good. Let's see here. True or false? DuckTales originally aired in the 1990s.
Seems like a trick question. I'm going to say false. I bet you it started in like 88.
Good job. Very close. Premiered in 1987, but it got popularized in the 90s.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
Nice, nice, nice. Alrighty, let's see here.
DuckTales.
What was the crime-fighting duck superhero in Disney Afternoon lineup?
Darkwing Duck.
Darkwing Duck. Man, you're killing it. I have all these multiple choices written out, and I'm not giving you any of them because they're way too easy. Okay, this one might be a little hard. The theme song of Goof Troop includes the lyrics, "We're the Goof Troop and we always stick blank."
We're the Goof Troop and we always stick together.
Is that just too easy because it's obvious? It's too obvious.
Yeah, I actually don't know the theme song.
Dang it, you got
It
it.
just stick blank.
Silly.
It didn't rhyme though, so I wasn't sure exactly. But
I know. That's what threw me off too because I was like, is that even right? Hilarious. Okay. Let's see. Okay, this is a multiple choice. What was the name of the live action Disney Channel show that starred a teenage witch? Was it Lizzie McGuire? B, Sabrina the Teenage Witch? C, So Weird? Or D, The Secret World of Alex Mack?
I don't think you said Disney Channel.
Yes.
Okay, this is throwing me off because I never thought Sabrina the Teenage Witch was a Disney show, but now I'm second guessing it. Because where did I watch it? I thought maybe it was ABC, which is Disney. But Alex Mack seems more correct because I know that was a Disney Channel show. I just never watched it. So, but all the answers so far have been the obvious one, which would be Sabrina. But I'm going to take a risk and say Alex Mack.
I really thought this one was going to throw you off because I've never even heard of The Secret World of Alex Mack, but that's correct.
Okay.
So good job. And yes, I was hoping that Sabrina the Teenage Witch would throw you off. It was not a Disney show. You're right again. So you almost get like a bonus point on that one.
I mean, they don't call me
Nice,
Mike
nice.
TV for nothing.
That's right. All right, next question. In Chippendale Rescue Rangers, who is the villainous crime boss cat?
Fat Cat.
Dang! You watched your Disney Channel afternoon, didn't you?
Not
Good
only
Lord.
did I watch it, but I played all the video games. So there's a Chippendale Rescue Rangers game on Nintendo. It was very hard, and Fat Cat was one of the bosses you would get stuck at for a long time.
That's
Oh, it
very
was such a
cute.
cute game. It was one of the first like co-op games that I can remember. So like my sister and I would play, and you had to be either Chip or Dale, and you could help each other and like throw acorns
Aw,
and stuff at each other, or help each other up to higher levels of the shelves and things. Wow, visceral memory right now.
that's very cute. I think the first one I remember like that was Mickey. Was it called like Mickey Mouse Adventure or something? It was like in a house, and he had to like hit the chandeliers with stuff. I can't remember.
Oh, sounds familiar.
Ooh, I played a lot of that game. I can't remember what it's called right now, but that was like you could play with two people and you bounce off each other and stuff.
Oh, fun.
All right, what year did the McDonald's open fry carts inside Disneyland? McDonald's, yeah. In what year did McDonald's open fry carts inside Disneyland? Sorry.
Westward Ho. We just talked about it. I want to say it opened in. I'm cheating because I had it up to talk about. I
Cheater!
know I couldn't find it in time. I don't really know. I'm gonna say
Disqualified.
92. Just a guess.
You're so nice. You're just taking the point. So it's a 98.
Oh, okay.
Much later, yep. Okay. That one we just talked about this stuff. Okay. What was the first direct-to-video Disney sequel in the 90s? I think we had this on an episode recently that you hosted, so you should remember it.
Okay. Okay.
No pressure.
I have clarifying questions, please.
Okay.
Is it the first direct to video sequel that came out in the 90s, but a sequel to a movie that was before the 90s? Or is it a movie that came out in the 90s and had a sequel in the 90s?
Let me fact check my thoughts on that.
Because they were going crazy. What I do remember is they had a whole other
It
studio.
did come out in the 90s,
Came out in the
the
90s.
original film.
Okay. Disney Toon Studios would produce these direct-to-video sequels, and they were lower quality animation, and sometimes not even all the voice actors came over. I'm thinking that was Return of Jafar.
Dang. Got it.
Yep. And Dan Castanella took over the voice of Robin Williams, who is Homer Simpson's voice. And once you hear it,
Ouch.
you can't unhear it if you watch those sequels.
I can't even imagine that, like being able to translate over. You know what I mean?
So weird.
Alrighty. Let's see. Now this one might throw you for a loop, but I'm excited about that. What 90s Disney attraction was inspired by Jules Verne and featured a steampunk aesthetic?
20,000 Leagues Under the Sea. Submarine Voyage.
That opened in the
Oh,
90s.
in the 90s.
I don't think I said that though.
Rocket Rods.
Nope.
Oh, wait. Interventions.
Nope.
I want to say those were still inspired by steampunk. Shoot. Opened in the
It's
90s?
actually, I should have wrote land instead of attraction.
Oh,
So
okay.
land. Think of a land.
And it opened? It actually came out.
In the 90s.
A land? Mm-hmm. Jules Verne land. And it's not part of Tomorrowland.
No.
What on earth? What am I missing?
There's a lot of trickery going on here.
Jules Verne steampunk inspired land. Is the land still there today?
Yes? Yeah. Pretty sure. I will give you a hint.
Yes.
It feels very Tomorrowland-ish.
Oh my goodness. Is it
And you may need to broaden your scope of locations.
what? In the 90s? Okay, 90s Jules Verne inspired land that opened in Disneyland? Or around
I don't know, is it?
near there? Well, okay, DC-8 didn't open until 2001. I would like another clue, please. This is hard.
Okay, so we changed it from attraction to land. We addressed that it may or may not be in Disneyland.
What? And it wasn't at DCA, because this is 90s,
Nope.
right?
1992.
But it's in
There's the other
California.
hint. Huh?
California. Oh,
know.
I think
Is
you're
it?
talking about Discoveryland in Disneyland, Euro Disneyland.
Discoveryland and Disneyland Paris.
Yes. Okay. All right.
I threw you for an international one at the end
did,
because
you
why
did.
not?
And that one is complicated because remember we were supposed to get some version of that, and then we talked about they cut the budgets and we just got Astro whatever on the ground with the golden French fries.
Yeah, we totally got jinxed with that one.
We got a green
Boo
gold
hiss.
Space Mountain, but no changes to the ride. It was that weird brown
I know,
color. Yeah.
I know. And then Mission 2, what's going on here? I did like the old, actually the other night I was at Disneyland and took a really cool photo of Space Mountain and it almost reminded me of that. They had like these cool lights on it. I don't know. It was really pretty. So maybe they're feeling out what they can do next. Who knows? That would be fun. Get a little zhuzh up on it. But anyways, you did a killer job per the usual. You always nail all these trivias. So congratulations on knowing your 1990s. You should know that. That is our era.
Yes.
It is our thriving space was the 90s. And we are still thriving today.
So many
Thank you
core
very
memories.
much, 2020 Thrive.
90s Disneyland. Yep.
Yep. So today we talked about some upcoming events, even ventured out and cheated on Disney a little bit. And then we're talking about some future things we're going to be doing. And then we traveled back in time to take a look at Disneyland in the 1990s.
Yeah. Well, thank you all for listening. We hope you enjoyed episode 229 of the Disneyholic Show.
Follow us on social media at the Disneyholics.
And if you want to get in touch, send us a DM on Instagram or contact us at thedisneyholics.com.
Okay, bye.
I got myself a notion, and one I know that you'll understand. To set the world in motion, by reaching out for each other's hand. Maybe we'll discover what we should have known all along. Oh, but one way or another, together's where we both belong. Yeah, if we listen to each other's heart, we'll find we're never too far apart. And maybe love is the reason why, for the first time ever, we're seeing it eye to eye. Oh yeah. If a wall should come between us, too high to climb, too hard to break through, I know that love will lead us and find a way to bring me to you. So don't be in a hurry, think before you count us out. You don't have to worry, I will never let you down. Let you down. If we listen to each other's heart, we'll find we're never too far apart. And maybe love is the reason why, for the first time ever, we're seeing it eye to eye. Eye to eye. If you're ever lonely, stop. You don't have to be. After all, it's only a beat away from you and me. Yeah. If we listen to each other's heart, we'll find we're never too far apart. And maybe love is the reason why, for the first time ever, we're seeing it eye to eye. We're seeing it eye to eye. Oh yeah. Oh, we're seeing it eye to eye. Eye to eye.
Man, I really want to go to Disneyland.